The Joe Rogan Experience.
Or the aliens land. I've been thinking the aliens are coming.
You know, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, another billionaire. I got a few billionaire buddies, and
Look at you.
I know.
It's a good move.
I know, really.
Yeah.
I think I'm sucking up to them for a reason.
They'll tell you in advance what's about to happen.
Well, this guy, a particular guy, is really, really, really smart, and he has no doubt in his mind whatsoever that aliens are dancing among us. And
I think he's right. Pass me the little baby cigars, Ron White. I love those things.
the
I'm
white
getting
one or the
addicted to
dark one?
Are there different colors?
Well, there's this one.
Oh, that's not a cigar.
Right.
I know what the fuck that is.
That's a CDB. One
oh,
of those that we were talking about earlier.
Give me some of that light. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm convinced. I'm 100% convinced. I used to be 60%.
And you were up to 100?
Yeah, I talked to Commander Fravor,
I was gonna
David
tell you
Fravor.
at one time in my life, I could do 75 push-ups, and I'm down to 3.
You can get back up to 75.
No,
I'll show you how.
All right. You got nothing else to do.
I've talked to people that have seen them. I talked to this one guy who was a pilot in the... Is he the Air Force or Navy? Navy pilot, I believe. Commander Fravor is in the Navy. And he encountered this thing that they call the Tic Tac UFO. This is an object that they tracked on radar that went from 60,000 feet to 1 foot above sea level in less than a second. They don't know how fast it did it because it was literally a blip in the radar. It went from 60,000 feet down to 1 feet. They have no idea how fast it moved. They have no idea how it did it. It shows no signs of propulsion. There's no heat, no exhaust signature. There's nothing that has any indication that it's acting in any way like in any propulsion system that we've ever observed before.
Right. Yeah. John was telling me to watch a show called Close
That's
Encounters.
it, Jamie. You just nailed it. Whatever it was, you just found it.
You just did it.
Oh, it's back again. There's a little, folks, if you hear, there's a little hum. There's a little strange audio hum that Jamie's trying to track down.
I think it's aliens.
We'll get this worked out.
Yeah.
We'll get it worked out.
I don't think anybody's going to care.
They might.
I don't think so.
So
Anyway,
if I had to give you a percentage of whether or not aliens are real, what's the percentage for you?
81.3.
That's a good number.
Yeah, 81.3.
That's likely.
Yeah, likely. I mean, how could it not be? You know,
Right.
how could it not be? I really don't even. It was kind of odd that he and I were talking about it, but he has a really nice plane, and he lives in Malibu and Austin. And so every time he moves from one city to the other, it happens to fit my schedule exactly right. So I'm like, that's weird. I was going to Beverly Hills today. How about I hop on the plane? Ron, I'm on it by myself. Come on, let's go. And
Nice.
so when he pops back down to Austin, even if it's just for a couple of days, I hop on. And I really enjoy this guy's mind. And I consider him a mentor in business and life.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, John Paul DeJoria. And but he just started talking about it.
I hear
one day.
nothing but good things about that guy.
God, he's the best.
I hear he's a fascinating dude.
Oh yeah. You know, if he would do your podcast, and I'm
Do you
sure
think he'd do it?
I think he would.
I would love to have him on.
He's a guy that started selling shampoo out of the trunk of his car, and sold Patron, I think last year for $5.1 billion, and still owns 60 other companies, including Paul Mitchell, which he started.
Here's the thing.
And,
At what point do you stop working when you're that guy?
Never. He never wants to stop. He never considers stopping. I was so shocked when he sold Patron because I just didn't think he ever would, because he doesn't need to sell it. And but for whatever reason he did, and in fact I said something that made him laugh really hard because he told me about it. He called me and told me. So I sold it to Bacardi for $5.1 billion, and I said, well, that sounds like a lot of money, but it sounds like more money when you realize the 0.1 is $100 million. That's like the biggest 0.1 there is, right? There is no 0.1 trillion. That doesn't even exist. It's a 0.1 billion is. $100 million. But he said that to watch a show, which I never watched because I think he got an advanced copy of it, which was Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, is what it's called. And I looked it up, and it was coming on something, but it hadn't been on yet. So I think he just got an advanced copy of it. And he said that it'll take every single doubt out of your mind that's ever been there.
Wait a minute. Isn't that a Stephen Greer movie?
No, that's Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
No. That's Steven Spielberg.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Steven somebody.
Stephen Greer is a guy we had on the podcast before.
Oh, that wrote the.
Yeah, he's a ufologist. Air quotes.
Okay.
Sideways face.
Right.
Skeptical hippo face.
Right. Blink monocle.
Yeah. There's a lot of fuckery in that UFO world. There's a lot of people that are making documentaries, and a lot of people that are. There's a real good one though about Bob Lazar, called Bob Lazar UFOs in Area 51. I think that's exactly the title of it, but it's by my friend Jeremy Corbell. And it's about this guy who was a physicist who worked at Area S4 in the Nevada desert,
Right.
back engineering this craft that the government had recovered. And immediately upon working there, realized, like, what in the fuck is this? Like, right away knew that this was no technology that we had currently available. I mean, this guy was he was a physicist, a nuclear physicist at Los Alamos Labs.
Right.
Worked on weapon systems and
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
And
would know.
and got there and was like, what are you guys doing? Like, what is this? And they were basically explaining, like, these are recovered UFOs. And one of them, apparently, according to him, was very old. And that it was from some sort of an archaeological dig that they found. And the propulsion system that these things used was that they used this element called element 115 that wasn't even proven to actually exist until, I think it was 2013. They proved that it exists in a particle collider. But this guy was talking about in 1989, and he said that they had a stable supply. Is that your phone that keeps doing that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's weird ding.
Maybe that's the whole problem.
That's UFOs. But this documentary is fascinating because the propulsion system that he's describing is exactly the same that Commander Fravor had described in the TikTok UFO that they found off of. You just got to shut it so it doesn't make noise.
I just turned it off.
Did you?
Nobody needs me.
They do. I need
I'm
you.
irrelevant, dude.
You're not irrelevant.
Yeah.
No. Stop saying that. Anyway, the propulsion system that he described in 1989 is exactly the same propulsion system that they witnessed this TikTok UFO using in 2007 or whatever it was, that David Fravor had seen this thing off the coast of San Diego. So what those people that saw these crafts that were monitoring them in the military, they were saying they see these like every few months. They see these things, and they don't know what the fuck they are. They don't know what to do. They scramble jets to go watch them. They actively block their tracking systems, and then they disappear faster than you can look at it. Just take off. They have no idea what they are. They don't know where they're from. They don't know what they're doing. And then the Pentagon recently has come forth and released these statements, and one of them being that they've recovered crafts that are not of this world.
86.6. I'm up to 86.6.
Pass that lighter. My little cigarillo went out of... Oh, no, I dropped some dirty tobacco juice in this fucking thing. I'm going to scoop that bad boy out of there. I'm going to keep drinking. But I'm in, dude. I'm like 95%.
You're down from 100, and I'm up to 86.
Yeah. I listen to my own bullshit, and I go,
right?
Dude, stop. You're about... I'm going to drink this with the ashes. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck, I got to turn my phone back on because I got to show you...
What you got to show me?
The pig.
UFOs?
No, the pig. The pig.
Whitney Cummings pig?
Whitney Cummings pig. I mean, I know there's no way you could possibly...
There it is. It's right there. Kapow.
There it is. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's Whitney Cummings pig. So
she was the first person to explain to me that those miniature pigs are not real.
No, right. Yeah, that's proof right there, right?
Yeah.
How little is that pig?
Well, they think they're miniature pigs because they starve them. So people buy this little tiny pig. They go, oh, this is a miniature, it's a teacup pig. And I go, oh, great.
Who
and
wouldn't want that, you know?
Yeah, you feed it.
Right.
And it grows to be, you know.
Alex Raimundo bought 3 of them, and he did. And he lived up in Palmdale, and eventually they just got out. And then every once in a while you'd see them. Now they have tusks, and they weigh 450 pounds, and you know they're So this place.
Do they recognize him?
Let's finish the story we were on.
Which story? The
We were
UFO
talking-
part?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
well,
then go back into the pigs.
the Bob Lazar documentary is a must-see.
I'm directing
You should see it. But no, direct away. I love you. Do
All
whatever
right.
you want. But the Bob Lazar documentary is a must-see. If you're curious and on the fence about UFOs, and I had that guy in here. I talked to him. He gave one of the first interviews that he's given in a long fucking time,
Right.
and I picked his brain for hours.
I'll go back and listen to it.
He didn't seem like a bullshit artist to me. There's some weird parts of it, but there's always going to be weird parts when you're talking about literally back engineering something that someone from another planet invented and using some technology that we don't understand. And one of the analogies that he had was, imagine if you brought a nuclear reactor to the 1400s and introduced it to them, which 1400s is nothing, 600 years ago. In
Right.
terms of the age of the universe, it's a fucking not even a blink of an eye.
I think we could just go back to 1800s.
1800s,
And
show them a
they're
nuclear
gonna be
reactor.
pretty surprised about a nuclear. Let's go to 1936.
Yeah,
Show them
right,
a nuclear
right.
reactor.
That was his
But
analogy.
yeah, I get it.
Like, this technology is technology. It's clear that they figured out how to manipulate this element and use it to bend gravity. And that's the propulsion system. Instead of using something that pushes, like a fire that pushes against, the wind and pushes you in a certain direction, or a propeller that pulls you into a certain direction, instead of that, it bends gravity. And the way he described it is like if you put a massively heavy bowling ball in the center of a bed, right? And it just sunk everything into the bed. That's basically like a very crude description of what this element does. And with this reactor that they have on these spaceships, that it literally bends gravity around and allows you to just instantaneously jettison that ship into another position in the
I'd
universe.
say, stop, Joe. I'm getting a bloodletting. They're draining my blood into a bowl to cure something that I think I've got. What'd you say again?
Yeah. I think they've been here forever. I think they've been coming down here and observing us and waiting. And it also coincides with there's a giant jump in sightings right after the Manhattan Project.
Right.
So right after we started blowing up bombs, they were like, hey, these
Wait,
fucking monkeys have figured out some
easy.
shit. Let's go visit them again. They probably got a news wire. They probably got a Google News alert on their phones. And they're like, oh, Christ, look at these things. Look at these crazy monkeys. What have they done?
What have they done? Okay, 91. I'm up to 91. What are you down to?
I'm down to 50%.
We're.
I'm worried
I'm
about
going to try
things.
to pull you out of it.
I'm always worried about things that I want to believe. If I want to believe it, I'm always skeptical.
Right, me too.
Episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience are now free on Spotify. That's right, they're free. From September 1st to December 1st, they're going to be available everywhere. But after December 1st, they will only be available on Spotify, but they will be free. That includes the video. The video will also be there. It'll also be free. That's all we're asking. Just go download Spotify. Much love. Bye-bye.